What's good, everybody? What's good with you? Thank y'all for joining us here for a very quick spoiler discussion of Batman, the Cape Crusader that dropped here on Amazon. So we'll let you guys know now there will be spoilers, man. So heads up. If you haven't seen it yet, come back and join us. But until then, sit tight, grab your popcorn, and join us for this discussion. And here we go. Yes, sir, man. Listen, geeks all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a spoiler discussion of Batman, the Cape Crusader, the new animated show just released on Amazon. They released all 10 episodes on Amazon, so you definitely had a chance to watch every last one of the episodes. As me and Cuz, we sit here and we discuss it with you guys, discuss the different spoilers and stuff like that, man. So we're just giving you guys a heads up. But with all that being said, man, I am Vengeance. Also, it's your boy Real.
I am the Batman. It is your boy Will, and of course, I always got the Batman off to the side as well. Let's stay ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, guys. Listen, like I said in the opening, you guys already know. Heads up. Spoilers.
Spoilers. You know what it is.
Yes, sir. Cuz, let's go ahead and get into the discussion of the Batman, the Cape Crusader, man. I think this is probably an anticipated show amongst DC fans, amongst comic book fans, all alike.
Yep.
A lot of us were kind of waiting. We heard news that it's coming out. We heard of different names attached to it, whether it be a Matt Reeves, it be a AJ Abrams. I mean, sorry, just AJ, JJ Abrams,
Yeah.
and who was the other person missing? It was three people. I'm blanking on names.
Just a creator from the
Oh,
'90s
thank you,
animated.
thank you.
Yeah. He got it.
Bruce Tim, guys,
Yeah.
the legendary Bruce Tim. I don't know what it's his animated style. I don't know how I forgot that, but yeah. So Bruce Tim, Matt Reeves, the guy who's over the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman, that is. He is was attached to this. Also, J.J. Abrams. I know y'all probably saw at the end of the show they had the Bad Robot production title at the end of the show, man. So yeah, listen, man. We'd like to thank y'all for joining us. If you have not seen the show, like I said yet, man, go ahead and go watch the show. Come back, go down to the description to the comment section below, and let us know what y'all think, man. Um, we usually give our takes on the show, and then we give you a scale of 1 to 10, what we think of the show or the movie or whatever it is we're doing a spoiler discussion for. In this case, it's going to be a show, so we're going to give you a scale of 1 to 10 of what we think of the show. All right, cuz, you ready to get to it, man?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
To begin it off, man, let's look at this Rotten Tomato score here, man. Tomato meter for the critics was a 98%. Audience score was a little low,
Yeah.
67%. Not bad, but I thought it was a little bit lower than what I expected.
Yeah.
Of course, there's in the grim Gotham City, affluence philanthropist Bruce Wayne goes beyond his humane abilities and transforms into a enormic figure, Batman, for his crusade for justice begins in unexpected allies, but his actions also lead to perilous consequences. This show was basically a kind of the more earlier renditions of Batman, more in the 40s. Hence the background and the way with the makeup of the show and stuff like that, man. The way it looked, the aesthetics of the show, it's just all made from the 40s. Kind of back when Batman was serialized back in the 40s, when it was more like a radio show and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You saw some of the original looks of some of the characters, some of the his role gallery here in the show. I liked it, man. It was so when the studio stepped to Bruce Timm and they wanted to make another Batman animated show, they kind of wanted him to do another Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
He felt like that series was so precious that he didn't want to touch it. So
Appreciate it.
he decided to go in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And this direction that he went in was more of the idea that he had originally for the
Mm,
Batman animated series. These are more adult toned episodes compared to the Batman animated series, which is more geared towards children. So
yeah,
that's why you see it more in this vein, more of the true noir detective type of vein. Some of the old classic '40s style when it comes to this Batman, because it touches on a lot of the original ideas that Bruce Timm had, while also touching on the original aesthetics of the Batman show, or should I say the Batman character in general. So,
yeah.
but listen, man. Cause real quick, give us your opinion of this show, man, and then we can get to we can do a little rundown of each of the episodes and the characters that were in the episodes.
I loved it. It's as soon as I finished it, I put it. It was already on my watch list, but I put made sure I clicked the like, and I'm ready for season two already. It was fantastic. This is what a lot of the streaming services need to get back to. Give us all our episodes. Let us have the choice if we want to watch all of it or not. You know. But yeah, it was fantastic. And you could just see from the animation design that it was Tim's from the Batmobile. Just from the feel of it, it did have that Batman animation feel, but you could still
Yep.
see that it was different. It was, and not different like it's bad different or better different. It was just different. Batman animation was its own thing. It has its own spot in our nostalgic heart. So and
Yep.
this one will have its own spot as well, especially as they continue to tell this story. So I absolutely enjoyed it. Great show. Animation, storylines, everything.
Yeah, like you said, it still had a new feel to it, while
Hmm.
also feeling like it had that nostalgia of the old
Yeah.
Batman animated series. Man, it was a very good show, man. I tried to watch all of it, man. It was like, well, it wasn't one of them cases where you watch the show and like, yeah, I catch the rest of it later. No, you would sit there trying to watch it all at one, almost binge it over in one night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I forgot it came out. I saw people on Twitter talking about it, so I
Hmm.
just had to catch it, man. So listen, I love the
I
show. Like
broke
you
it
said,
into.
yeah, I'm ready for season two already. Like you said,
Hmm.
um, there are the different episodes, man. It felt like it felt like it wasn't like the more modern Batman, as far as like, okay, this bad guy is going to eventually pop up again in another season or
Hmm.
whatever, right? It
Yeah.
felt like he took care of the business of these each of these villains in each episode. Like you kind of had that feel. Not saying this, they're not going to be back. I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but it just felt like at the end of each episode they're not going to be back.
Yeah.
Like once they're in jail or whatever, that's it. It's just like it's not a play on the more modern Batman where it's like, okay, he's constantly catching these people and they're constantly going back to jail. I feel
Yeah.
like it's more conclusive now with these bad
Hmm.
guys. And so speaking of the bad guys, because there was 10 episodes, 9 bad guys, and we'll explain why there were 9 here in a little bit.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and run down these episodes real quick. First episode was the Penguin.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you, cuz I was not happy with the fact that they changed the gender of the Penguin. I don't know
Hmm.
why they changed the gender of the Penguin. I don't know what the necessary reason for changing the gender of the Penguin, especially with there being a Penguin show about to come out here next month.
Hmm.
Like I don't understand why they did that or whatever. So, but episode was still good. It was kind of listen. That's another thing too. The tone of this show is very dark. Like I said, it's very noir. The fact that the penguin killed her own children, well, killed one of her children, and then the
Yeah.
other one she was about to kill because he snitched on her or whatever. So, but yeah, what you think about this episode?
I think that's what with them switching up the gender and having her to kill her one of her kids brought that ruthless. Showed that I think she was been more ruthless than the male Copperpot because of that.
Wait
Her
till
doing
wait
that.
till wait till you see the penguin next month.
I can believe. But yeah, that's what I was thinking of it. But yeah, it was a great episode. And I think with the time period and her being a woman, that's what allowed her to be being able to be underground or looked over was because of that. They didn't like the Batman didn't know that there was another player, another gang that he was missing until things just started exploding. So I think that's what they were able to use her sex as a way of bringing extra storyline, being able to fly on the radar, being killing her own kid to be a little bit more ruthless. So I thought it was an interesting twist to it. Did not expect it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either. And the boy to kill a kid so easily, that was kind
Yeah,
of dark. I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
it's like,
oh,
oh,
you,
okay.
yeah, I found out you the snitch. Here you go, you gonna die now. I'm like, dang. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
got him up out of
but
there.
yeah, episode 2, man, had a familiar foe,
Yeah,
Clayface. So there were multiple Clayface in the comics.
yeah,
This is the original Clayface. Uh, what's his name? Basil Carlo.
hmm
Um, he's not what can I think of the one from the Batman animated series? I'm blanking on his name right now.
yeah,
Uh,
the big one. I forgot his name. I know you're talking
why am I
about that.
blanking on this man's name? But I apologize, y'all. I'm blanking on the man's name right now. But yeah, this is the original Clayface, and this Clayface right here is the original version of Clayface in the
Yeah,
original. I know original been used a lot in the original Batman back in the 40s. I'm talking about like where like he's not a big old blob of clay, but his face can be molded and
hmm
changed to whatever he wants to change it to, due to a chemical that he had on his face or whatever. So this Clayface was and the story in this episode was pretty much reminiscent of the original story of Clayface,
yeah,
where he was killing different cast members that they got apart over him.
hmm
And he had a love interest or whatever. She kind of rejected him or whatever, and he felt some kind of way. You know how that goes. The fact that he did a switcheroo with the guy who gave him the chemicals, changed
yeah,
his face with his. He ended up killing that guy. Made it seem like he was Basil, and he
yeah,
wasn't. And kind of find out Basil was Clayface. So,
yeah.
well, yeah, what you think about this
Wow.
episode?
It was great. Once I figured out, like, yeah, that they changed up or it went back to the original Clayface, I was another surprise because I was just watching it. It was like, man, who's the villain? And then they started showing, talking about how being able to mold his face, got the shot injection because of how bad his face was. He couldn't get all these parts. And then the click was like, oh my God, this is Clayface. And you saw like the mode and everything. It's like, that is creative because, like you said, we're this generation is so used to the full body, the one that can get really big play face. But for
Yeah,
the this be maintain the human body, and it's just his face that's changing was methodical. So it was really fun, especially having Montoya. She's a great detective. Working the case, and then it even took her a little bit to figure that out too. So it was crazy to watch.
yeah, man. Then we got Catwoman, man. She was in episode 3. Uh, uh, did you like the fact that Catwoman's costume was the costume of the original Catwoman, aka the Cat, because she was known as the Cat before she was named Catwoman. She had the Catmobile and everything in this episode. You saw that the she was trying to get Bruce Wayne's mother's
Mhm.
pearls.
Yeah,
That's reminiscent of a certain plot line that was in Dark Knight Returns, the Christian Bale Batman movie.
yeah,
Oh, was it? No, yeah, Dark Knight. Is
yeah,
it Dark Knight
yeah.
Return? No, no,
Uh,
no. Sorry, no. Dark Knight
yeah,
Rises.
yeah.
Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight
Rises.
Rises.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where remember she tried to steal his mother's pearls, and it's kind of like that in here.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the original Catwoman costume, man. Like, what you think about this episode?
I enjoyed it. You could feel that energy between them, and yeah, that costume. As soon as she rode out with this, like, yo, because it fit the time. It's a time period piece,
Yeah,
and so the costume was perfect for it. And I like how she constantly will pull from Batman. So she would read something about him, or they would end up having an encounter. It's like, oh, he has a nice car. She go get a car. Nice toys. Go get some toys. So it was really cool for her to basically pull some things from him as she was building up her persona as a thief. I really enjoyed her.
yeah. She even touched on the fact that we're pretty much similar for those reasons that you just named off.
Yeah,
All right, man. Let's get to the sixth one. Let's get to episode 4 was Firebug, not to be mistaken with Firefly. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it meant Firefly." No, no, no. There was a Firebug in the comics. There was a Firebug in the comics. Um, this one was kind of dark too.
yeah,
The fact that we had 2 police officers there. We had Flax and Bullock.
yeah.
Bullock, I know a lot of people are kind of confused on him being a bad cop. He was a bad cop in the Gotham show.
Yeah,
In the comics, he was a bad cop, but in Batman animated series, he was actually a good cop. He was just a tough nosed cop. Like he was a good cop in there. Um, Flash was always been a bad cop in everything I've watched, even from the
yeah.
Batman Year One. I think some of the I think from Gotham, I think he was a bad guy. In the comics, he's been a bad guy. So like I've always known Flash to be a bad cop. So
Mm.
no, no, take that back. And what was that Batman show that came on in the mid 2000s? What's the name of that show? What Batman? Oh, The Batman. It was called The Batman. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had the Batmobile with the blue lights and all that stuff on it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Flash actually was a good cop. He was an idiot, but he was a good cop.
yeah,
In
yeah.
that one, that's the only time I ever seen him be a good cop in that one. So, but
How
yeah,
long?
what you think about this?
How long did that Batman last?
What 3 years, 4 years? I
Okay.
think probably not that long. I don't think it was that long, but yeah, I
It's
liked
because
it.
Flash. It's because Flash wasn't a bad cop. That's why I went short. Uh, now this
I
was a
guess
good
so.
episode. It showed how psychotic this guy was. How he wanted to have everybody connected with the fire or with the flame,
Yes,
and it was
yes,
crazy. Like he put those goggles on and just see everything change. That everybody was one with the flame. Just kids running around at the flame. It's like, oh, this dude is wild. So
crazy, literally
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, like this is like, yeah, I needed to keep this dude in Arkham. But this, yeah, it was really creative because there was this episode they were trying to catch Batman. They were trying to catch the Batman.
Hmm.
They had the task force all built up, and they were trying to do different like small muggings, car chases, all these different things to try to pull him out. And then when they got the psychiatrist uh, to come out and to basically put up a profile on him. That's when the two of them decided to pull him out of Arkham to burn down the building and try to catch Batman. But it was appreciative that the way that they did this was because it also allowed for Batman and Gordon to be closer, for him to help Gordon, for Gordon to see, oh, this dude out here like helping. He's like, they were saying that he was in the building chasing Firebug, but he wasn't. He was like, I'm not worried about Firebug. We need to get these people out. Like, yeah, there's kids stuck in this building that
Hmm.
we need to get out. That's the problem right now. So for Gordon to even realize that and to only worry about that instead of trying to catch the Batman was really appreciative. The way that they went with it.
Exactly, man. Episode 5, because this is gonna be an interesting one for everybody. Harley Quinn. I kind of figured this was Harley Quinn when you seen the trailers,
Yeah,
but I wasn't 100% sure. But it's been confirmed this actually is Harley Quinn. It's a different twist on Harley Quinn. Of course,
yeah,
she's I guess you could say she's a derivative character to the Joker,
yeah,
but more like a sidekick to the Joker. So she's created by the Joker, but in this one, she's different, man. She's more cruel, more calculated.
yeah.
She's not like this, like that Dincy blonde that you guys are used to or whatever, right?
Right, right. She's a genius.
She's yeah, she's a genius. She's her own like own bad guy in this one. Like she was here on this show before the Joker was. So,
Yes, right.
um, but yeah, she was okay. So yes, in a technical sense, she was a bad guy, but she
Hmm.
actually was punishing bad people, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
So, but what you think about this one, man?
yeah. It's really creative because this is the psychiatrist I was talking about. For those of you who
Yes.
watch the show, just you will have but this is a psychiatrist I was talking about. She also did psychiatry or this couple of uh, um, things with Bruce Wayne because he had pushed out a guy from the Catwoman episode. But it was really creative. Yeah, she was her own hero because she was punishing the evil, the greed, with the greedy guys, and then having them to off themselves in different ways, or using them to torture other rich people, which was crazy. But I like this twist of her actually being like, there's been variations of Harley Quinn that she has been very smart because she's a psychiatrist, and then there's just been the ones where she's just insane. I like this
Yeah,
one. She's very smart and she's insane. It's like yo, and she lived, which means she'll more likely be back. So I love
yeah,
it. This is a great iteration of her.
I agree, man. All right, man. This next episode we had was the Gentleman Ghost.
Yeah.
So Gentleman Ghost really is a villain of Hawkman, which I was kind of surprised. I thought they would do more more grounded stuff
Mhm.
in this show. So when I saw the Gentleman Ghost, I thought maybe he was like a real person who was like using like some kind of like lighting or something. And so,
Same.
but kind of find out he actually was the real Gentleman Ghost, I was like, okay, well, I guess they are kind of dabbling a little bit into the supernatural there.
Yeah.
And of course, the original Gentleman Ghost don't have a head,
Yeah.
so I figured who that was when I first seen him. I was like, okay, he's a ghost on a horse. I figured, and then they showed the part where he tried to politely help the police woman up. I say, okay, yeah, it's a Gentleman Ghost.
Yeah.
But like I said, I thought because they were trying to keep things grounded, I thought maybe he was a real person or whatever. But what you think about this episode?
It was trippy for me because I was thinking the whole time. I was like, this has got to be a person, but how are they doing this? Like tricks and everything else, especially going through the brick wall and Batman just standing there, all the stuff that was burning, and then he put his hand to the wall. And was like, how does God do this? Like, and after a while, like Pennyworth said, it's like after everything that's been removed, everything that's possible been removed. Only thing that's left is impossible, and it's the facts. And you got to go with the facts. So it was really cool. It was crazy. And then the Haitian guy or the black guy that gave him the vial. Like I
Hmm.
want to know more about him. And if with him being around, that's John Constantine will be around too.
Great
Like that,
question.
yeah, that makes me very, very curious. So it's like, does that mean it's going to be an older age or a old timey John Constantine around too? Which I think would be pretty dope. Having him always with a cigarette like that too, looking rough.
Yeah, I agree, man. Also, too, in that episode, when Gentleman Ghost took over Albert
Mm,
took over Alfred there for a
yeah.
little bit.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah,
revealed that might have had a little secret that he was holding from Bruce. So they're gonna probably touch on that maybe in season 2.
yeah.
But we're gonna get on that here in a little bit. The next episode was onomatopoeia. So for those who don't know, onomatopoeia is a character that does not really speak.
Yeah.
He does things. He says words of action, right? Like
Dun, dun, dun.
walking or bloop, or
Yeah.
like you see right there, dun dun dun. He'll say stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But what the stuff he's saying, he actually saying something. It's kind of like I am Groot, right?
Yeah.
Like I am Groot. He's actually saying something, but you hear I am Groot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with him. And so onomatopoeia also too is a good hand combatant. He's also an assassin. So you kind of saw that there in the episode. The fact that he didn't really talk, but people knew what he was saying. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So what you think about this episode, man? The fact that we got to see Jim Carrigan,
Yeah.
aka the Spectre, in this episode. He was the one who was they were trying to put a hit out. They thought was a hit out on Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, but
Yeah.
the hit was actually for Barbara Gordon,
Yeah.
and Jim Cardigan almost killed her until Gordon's her father, Commissioner Gordon, stepped in, and then of course he ended up getting arrested or whatever. So what you think about that one, man?
Man, it was good. I don't know if Pia was giving Batman the hands at the house.
Yeah, he
It was
was.
like, man, it was giving them the business. It was really good. When all those folks was rolling to town on the train, as it was saying, like, yo, just because this one assassin had missed, this is going to be more. And it was crazy just for them to roll in and do what they did. Just because they ended up going into Wayne's Gardens to fight because that's where they tried to escape to. It was really creative, just the way that they tied it in, because you would think that it was Commissioner Gordon have all these enemies putting people away, but it was just
Hmm.
basically a butthole that had did evil stuff. But he's like, I'm not as evil as these people, so you should have got me a better deal. That's why I put a hit on you. It's like, but you proven to me and everybody else why you deserve to be in here by putting a hit
Exactly.
on
Like
you.
I tried to get you out. Like yeah, like I didn't try. Like I was sitting there trying. What are you talking about? He's like, okay, my bad. What?
Exactly. It's
Like
like, what are you talking about right now? So that one really got me. But it was a great episode. Just that last little bit, it was like, dude, did you not see? Did you just see it? Like, what are you talking in circles right now? But
hit
yeah,
you with a
that
my
was
bad. Well, you can my bad these hands.
exactly. But yeah, it was a good episode.
Yep, it was. All right, man. Episode 8. We had Natalie Knight. So in the comics, she's known as Nocturna. She's a sister of Anton, who's known as the Night Slayer. So they kind of changed up their characters there a little bit. But in this episode, she was draining the essence from children.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was supposed to like to keep her youthful or actually it's to gain her strength.
yeah,
She got stronger with the more essence that she was taking away. She tried to take Batman because Batman has so much. She tried to take it from Batman too, but of course Batman kind of stopped that. You also had some special cameos here
yeah.
in this show. You had a cameo of Dick Grayson. You had Jason Todd. You had Stephanie Brown, and you also had Kelly,
Yeah.
the Robin of the Dark Knight Returns. So listen, man. Kelly was Kelly, of course, in this episode. I said, "Yep, that's Kelly."
Yeah,
Slingshot and all, man. Slingshot and
slingshot
all.
now.
But yeah, what you think about this episode, man?
It was fantastic. So as they were going through the kids, like it was Jason and Todd were together. Jason got taken first, and Todd looking for Jason and they're getting snatched and their energy drained. It's like so looking at it, it's like that can't be.
Yeah,
Just that can't be. That can't be them.
you saw Circus, and then you saw
Yeah,
he called him
yeah,
Dicky.
yeah.
I was like,
Dickie.
oh, so that is Dick Grayson. Okay,
Yeah. So when it was like had all that going on, I was like, they know where they going. They're doing this already, and I guess yeah, they did. So it was really great how they had it. The way that the Carnies whooped up on Bruce too is crazy because
you saw
he
Killer
bust.
Croc,
Yeah, exactly.
Waylon Jones himself.
Yep. It's Bruce busts out the mirror building looking for the kids, and he just talking about looking for two little girls, and the Carnies is not like that, so they beat the brakes off of them. This was crazy, but it was such a great episode to watch, and just the cameos with the kids. It's like, oh yeah, I got to run this for a long time to get them up on here.
Also, too, you saw the introduction of Leslie Thompson. She was the one who helped Bruce as a kid when his parents died. And also in the comics, she kind of bandaged him up a few times when he was out there in them streets,
Yeah,
and she knows his identity and all that stuff, man. So you got Lucius Fox, you had Leslie Thompson, of course, you got Alfred in here, man. Like you got a lot of cameos and callbacks and stuff, man, in this show.
yeah,
So the last two episodes here, man, were we had Two Face.
yeah,
So Harvey Dent, I was kind of confused on Harvey Dent in this show. I felt
yeah,
like he was a good guy at some points, but a bad guy at some. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, he tried to be a good guy, man.
yeah.
He tried to do the right thing, and of course, it cost him his face. As y'all know in the comics, he cost him his face. Rupert Thorne and the whole acid to the face.
Mhm.
That's what caused his face, and it called. He also kind of like that post traumatic stress disorder. It kind
Yeah,
of kicked in with him, man, to where he had the split personality. Of course, y'all know in the comics he has a two personalities. One of being the face that's all hideous, and then of course the Harvey Dent one. When he's snapping, that's the Two Face side. When he's kind of calm, that's Harvey Dent,
yeah,
and we saw that here. It kind of felt like a play on the old on Batman, the Dark Knight movie with Christian Bale, man.
uh,
The fact that Two Face also sacrificed himself and he died at the end
yeah,
was also kind of the same too. Just like in there, they both did not continue on with a life of crime. They both actually ended up dying in their
yeah.
respective medians. But what you think, Cuz? What's your opinion on these two episodes?
I was glad that they brought him on as Two Face. As soon as the first time that they showed him, Harvey Dent was like, okay, so Two Face is going to be around. So the question is when, and us being able to have him for 2 episodes like in the first season was fun. It sucks not uh, that we don't get him longer, but also for him to become a hero or to be that hero, then yeah, he had to die, or he would have been a supervillain after a while. So the way that they played it was pretty cool. Also switching up his face, as it's been talked about, like the burn is typically on the left side, so them switching
Right.
it up. It's like maybe the Harvey Dent was was the bad side, and the burn was the good side. You know,
Yeah.
because the yes, like the burn brought that out, but that it feels like that it was already there from some of his actions. It wasn't just like him being he wasn't violent, but he his a lot of his actions were still bad from getting allowing criminals to get off, taking bribes and everything else. So the bad side was there. So it's like maybe the good side just got burned out, and that's why he ended up dying. So that's what I think when it came to the switch. But it was really good. Harvey did. Like I said, it came from the Dark Knight series, the style of him or his energy was, and it was really cool. I'm glad that they just had it as more of an acid setup instead of like a chemical or this face turning green or something like that. Like it's just disfigured to make it like more grounded. So yeah, they did a really great job with that.
Yeah, man. And to cap everything off, at the end of that episode, we got a quick look at the possible villain for season two. We might be getting the Joker here in the season two. Of course, it felt like another, just like another callback to the Christopher Nolan movies, where we got that callback to what was it, the Batman Begins. At the end of
Yeah,
Batman Begins, they gave
yeah,
us a little Easter egg, a playing card
yeah.
of the Joker, which led into the Dark Knight. So
One of the
yeah,
greatest
man.
movies ever. One of the greatest comic book movies ever.
So like to finish it up here, this episode, man, this show was pretty. It brought
Yeah.
back the feelings of nostalgia, like we said before. You can see Batman's growth throughout this
hmm
series or throughout this show, all the way to the point where he was calling Alfred Pennyworth. You know, he kept calling him Pennyworth instead of
hmm
calling him Alfred. And at
Yep.
the end of the last episode, seeing how important Alfred was, and almost losing him and all that stuff, especially when he fought the Gentleman Ghost, he
Yeah.
kind of opened his heart up a little bit, man, and started calling him Alfred. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna start seeing him open up and be more of a family figure to Alfred instead of just because I remember that's what Lucius Fox said to him, like, "Yo, you gotta stop treating your
Yeah.
help, you're treating him like he's a help,
Yeah.
treat him more like a family."
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I think he's what he's starting to do, man. Because I think Bruce kind of closed himself off to everybody, of course, once his parents died.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But
It's and it reminds me of the Batman with Robert Pattinson, the younger
yeah,
this younger version, and I like that. I like younger version Batman before he becomes the mythos. You know, it's like it's rumors of the Batman running around. Maybe you see him out there, and when they actually see him, it's like, holy crap, it's real. So just that mythos being out there is really cool. Seeing it grow, I love it.
yeah, I agree with you, man. I definitely agree. All right, man. Scale of 1 to 10. What do you give this show, man?
I give it an 8. It's not a not just giving it an 8. It's a worthy show. I'm gonna watch it again before season 2 comes back out. It's because it's more than deserving. Great animation, great stories, the characters were well written. Yeah, I give it an 8, strong 8. What you give it?
I'll give it like an 8 too.
Hmm.
Like you said, everything you said. Um, Great story. Like I said, the nostalgia kicks in, man. If
Yeah,
you around our age range, you know why. It
yeah,
reminds us of
hmm
the Batman animated series, man. Batman animated series kind of looked like it had that 40s feel to it too, but it had the more modern type of technology in there.
hmm
This one is from the ground level of technology. Like he don't have like the gadgets and all that stuff. Like you saw
yeah,
one of the scenes where he's pickpocketing, not pickpocketing, he's picking the lock of that file cabinet. Yes, he had two little clips and he was doing it with his hands, right? So
yeah,
so you're going back to the true essence of the Batman. Even down to his suit. His suit is the original suit. Other
yeah,
than like his ears not going out like that. Other
yeah.
than that, like it's the original suit. of how he was back in the 40s, man, when he
Yeah,
first
it's
became
perfect.
Batman. So yeah, man. Listen, we definitely appreciate y'all, man, joining us, man, for another episode of Cuz We Geeked, where we encourage you to stay geeked. We'll be back here, man, Sunday evening, man. We got special guests in the building, Larry of the Dixon Way joining us. And
Yeah.
we definitely hope you guys will join us there too, man. Bringing your geekness with you, man. So with all that being said, man, it is your boy, Real.
It's your boy Will. Like and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Like and subscribe to the channel, y'all. Help us grow this channel. We're still trying to get to our second goal of 500. We hope you guys can help us get there. With all that being said, stay geeked, and we out.